Congress, pursuing justice through participatory democracy. Listen to KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for an exclusive forum featuring the candidates for LA County District Attorney. Join KBLA's Tavis Smiley as he helps navigate what promises to be a forum full of fire when the candidates trying to unseat current LADA George Gascon come together on stage on the campus of the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Again, it's the LA County District Attorney Forum, live, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Helping to raise your civic IQ. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Imagine that you're looking for a stable partner. You might think, well, what do you want in a stable partner? And at least in principle, one of the things you don't want is too much mismatch between you and that person on the 5 fundamental dimensions. So for example, if you're really extroverted and you have a really introverted partner, you're going to engage in continual conflict about how much social activity the two of you should subject yourself to. And it's very, very difficult for people who widely differ on those dimensions to come to consensus, because it's not just a matter of opinion, right? It's really a matter of different, if you're looking at extremes, of really different types of people. And the thing about introverts is they just don't enjoy large-scale social interaction that much. One-on-one, they're often fine, but in a group, they don't like that, and it tires them out. Whereas a real extrovert, it's like you isolate them and they just wither on the vine, because a huge part of what actually motivates them in a positive way is tangled up with social interaction. And so if you're an agreeable person and you have a particularly disagreeable partner, you're also going to run into problems, because the agreeable person will say whatever you want whenever, and the disagreeable person will say, well, I'd like to know what the hell you want for a change, and be much more harsh and much more demanding in the situation. And the agreeable person is going to find the disagreeable person harsh and unpleasant, and the disagreeable person is going to find the agreeable person wishy-washy and unable to stand up for themselves. And again, that's actually one of the primary sources of tension between men and women, because women tend to be higher in agreeableness than men. It's about half a standard deviation, which is quite a large difference by psychological standards. And so what that means fundamentally, just so you have some sense of how large an effect that is that if you have a group of men and women and you pick out random pairs, the woman is going to be more agreeable than the man 60% of the time. So that's not an overwhelming proportion, but it's reliable, and it's quite large by psychological standards. So there's the problem with agreeableness. With conscientiousness, if you're conscientious, you're industrious and orderly. And orderly people seem to be sensitive to disgust, which is something we'll talk about in detail later. We've had a hard time specifying exactly what makes industrious people industrious, because it's hard to come up with an animal model for that sort of thing, and there's no theoretical model. But our latest idea is that, it's not my idea, it's actually the idea of my graduate student, Christine Brophy, is that industrious people find it unpleasant and unsettling to not be doing something. So it isn't so much that industriousness makes them happy or fills them with positive emotion. That would be more extroversion, right? Because extroversion is the positive emotion dimension. It's that industrious people can't stand sitting around doing nothing. And this is speculation, but human beings are obviously always engaged in the exchange of labor, especially the reciprocal exchange of labor. And you can imagine that in a community...
Man, Dr. Peterson be cooking. The VOR hour number 2, live from KBLA Talk 1580. We're having a heavy conversation. Irreconcilable. It might be a synonym for exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to do it no more. How do you prevent the challenging aspects of your partner from overshadowing the positive aspects of your relationship? We all got those issues. We all have those issues. But it comes down to value. Do you value your partner enough to work with them through their humanity? My brother is on the line. You already know, from Indianapolis. Ronan, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
It's a very important and necessary conversation we got to have. So I'm glad you made this topic show up.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Let's see. Well, I'd say one thing we have to address is evolution anxiety. And what I mean by that is like when we get into these relationships, most people have to check their agenda, because sometimes we can share our bodies in bed, but we become xenophobic in the areas we need to fix. So it's just like, it's kind of like starting a new board from scratch. And when you have a relationship, you have a relationship with that person's trauma, their faults and failures. But the thing is, we tend to ignore that. That is kind of a mirror of what we have to address on our own too. Can you offer that level of empathy for that person's growth? Can you help them reset their emotional algorithm? Where they have to learn how to reach out and communicate in a proper fashion. Some people aren't used to having that level of expression. They're used to being micromanaged, and then some people can't have that level of freedom or responsibility what they say or do. So those are the things that we have to do, but not just for the other partner, but for ourselves, because sometimes we use that person as a mask or have relationships in third person and wonder why we're still messed up.
Having relationships in third person. I don't know if you guys are listening to the lingo that my brother is laying down, but it's a cold piece of work, man. The emotional algorithm. I hear you, brother. I hear you. So let me ask.
Okay.
What character flaw have you had to deal with, right, in your partner, where you felt, this is an issue, this is a problem, but she matters more to me than the problem bothers me, or the problem bothers me greatly, but that's not enough for me to let her go? What have you tolerated?
I tolerated an unnecessary amount of complacency, not just with them, but myself. I've allowed things to go on just to say I had somebody at the very cost of losing myself and my respect. And I've seen people do it on the other end too. So that way you start walking around not just on eggshells, but it gets to the point where you don't even trust yourself.
Man.
So that's why the communication is important. It's like you got to have those uneasy conversations. That way you teach each other to be brave, not just with each other, but yourselves, to have boundaries, standards, and you can make each other stand up and mean what you say, not just with each other, but with those that brought you to each other.
Now, listen to this. Theo Washington said, is there a timetable for waiting on a person to work on their ego? First off, you shouldn't put them on a timer.
Really?
I'm sorry. You have your own internal clock that don't work with somebody else's internal clock.
Yeah.
To me, that's part of what's going to cause strife in the relationship, is you setting your internal clock, looking at it and saying, okay, all right, you've had enough time. Okay, it's time for you to start work. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Yes, Truemonger said timers are a red flag. Let me just say this. Ronan, guess what you just did, brother?
Brought Indianapolis to the building.
Naptown in the building. Another great call from our guy, Ronan. Listen, you know the time. Get on the line. 1-800-920-1580. My brother is here. I'm surprised he's here. He's been battling with a little illness. Truemonger, get in here. He from Texas. Y'all know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, True.
Man.
What are your thoughts, brother?
I think, especially nowadays, I think people put value in the wrong thing. They put more value in what someone might do instead of who they are, flaws and all, because we're all flawed. And once we stop looking at our humanity, that's going to cause a lot of problems in itself. Yeah. There's going to be stuff that you do that your partner don't like and vice versa. Most of it ain't worth breaking up for. You learn each other. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to, if they do some stuff that you don't participate in, that's them. Everybody's not going to be into all the same things. Now, if it comes to the point where whatever they're into is bringing harm to the household, then you have to deal with that issue.
Right.
But, I got my ways. I mean, we all experience things differently.
Right.
I think a lot of it is if we even get to the point where we talk about those things, it's just a lack of understanding. Because the way I handle a certain situation may not necessarily be the way you would handle it. But at the time, I handled it the best way I could. And this is when reflection is a good thing, because you go back and look at it, say, well, did I handle that correctly? If I didn't, I can know better going forward with certain situations. But I just think people put value in the wrong aspects of life, and especially in relationships. They're too busy wanting to not enjoying the moments that they have, but are ready to post highlights on social media trying to impress a bunch of strangers. People who just want to be nosy for the sake of being nosy. Most of the stuff y'all into is really nobody else's business but y'all. But that's the mindset of people nowadays is all twisted up. And the thing is, people take more pride in broadcasting that than working on themselves. If they put the work in themselves, a lot of this stuff will get resolved. Yeah, there's always going to be times where your partner's going to get on your nerves. So what? If it's not putting you in any danger, just let that person be. And you hope your partner gives you that same respect, to where you both know, nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. I don't care how anybody tries to use it. There's no such thing, especially when it comes to people.
Correct. Well, brother, I know you're a little under the weather. Guess what you just did?
I brought Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. When I come forward, I'm going to drill down a little deeper on this conversation, because we just getting started.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners, including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal Endow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details at KBLA Talk 1580 Climate is king.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Happy holidays from the Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. DCBA is spreading the warmth this season with the Los Angeles County Rent Relief Program. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is available to landlords with unpaid rent expenses in Los Angeles County, excluding the city of LA. If you are a landlord with unpaid rent, you could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. Tenants with unpaid rent are also welcome to refer their landlords to apply for this program. To learn more about the program or to apply, visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is administered by the County of Los Angeles through its Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. www.lacountyrentrelief.com.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
You want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the heart of Leimert Park, KBLA Talk 1580, the VOR is on fire tonight. Man, this is a wonderful topic. People are sharing, calling in from all over the country. This is a national discussion, and I love, hearing everybody's perspective on topics that, I curate, and it's a heavy-duty topic here because do we know how to live with a human being? Does anybody? Tolerance is important in a relationship. There are limits to what anybody can tolerate. Determining these limits requires self-reflection, introspection, and an understanding of one's own values, needs, and boundaries. It is essential to recognize when tolerating certain aspects becomes detrimental to one's well-being or compromises one's personal values or integrity. Communication is key when addressing challenging aspects of your partner. Expressing feelings and concerns in a non-confrontational manner can open up a dialogue for resolution and compromise. Active listening, empathy, and a willingness to understand the other person's perspective are exceedingly crucial in finding common ground and working towards that solution. Sometimes the solution is no solution. Hey, we're just going to disagree on this aspect, but you matter to me to the extent that I want to work on all the other areas so that this one area doesn't contaminate and, the other healthy areas. Self-reflection and Personal growth play a significant role in the ability to tolerate challenging aspects of a significant other. By engaging in self-reflection, individuals can gain insight into their own trigger and biases and areas that need their attention in terms of personal growth. This self-awareness allows for a greater empathy and understanding, which could foster a more tolerant and compassionate approach to relationship challenges. Man, who we got on the line? Do we have somebody in here? You said, oh, Cali Soul, one of our favorites. Cali Soul from Denver. Get in here. I need to hear your perspective on this.
Peace, though. Happy solar return, New Year, all that stuff.
Yes. Same to you. Good to hear from
Thank
you. Talk to me.
Thank you. I think awareness is a big word that we should look into when it comes to relationships, because oftentimes our discomfort, our dis-ease, our trials and our tribulations come from triggers, and a trigger is my own. It's not necessarily something that the other person is intentionally trying to set off, but whoever we manifest in front of us, whoever we choose to move forward with, that's just a part of the growth process of relationship, is rubbing up against each other and sharpening one another. And if we can remember that in our awareness, like, oh, whatever I'm feeling about whatever is happening, the choice is mine, how I'm going to label that, how I'm going to see it, and how I'm going to move forward, how I'm going to choose to communicate with the other person, even if they do communicate in a toxic way. Like, there's still an awareness that you can tap into within yourself, like, okay, what's the best way for me to approach this situation so that there's growth? So it's not attack, because if it's attack, you're not going to get nowhere but deeper into the hole. But if you can take your time and really be mindful, Deepak Chopra talks about, like, I think he has an affirmation that says, I make the decision that brings peace to everyone involved.
That's heavy.
When we listen to
what? I make the decision to bring peace to everyone involved. I don't think people come from that angle. I think people come from a selfish space. As long as they have some peace, they're not really worried about anybody else. They're not worried about how their decisions may affect someone else. You know, that's a heavy statement. Go deeper into that, please.
Yeah, so you know what the clown shoe feel like when it's trying to pop from up under your foot. You know that that's the ego. And oftentimes we just want to feed the ego. Well, if I tell you what's on my mind, if I give you a piece of my mind, then I'm going to share this pain with you. And again, going back to choosing what to bring peace to everyone involved, we think that, you know, telling somebody off will bring us peace. When you think about it, it really don't. It don't. That's how disease manifests in the body, from dis-ease. You know you chose wrong. You know you chose fear. So it's going to fester. You just planted a seed in yourself. And you think that that seed is going to hurt the other person. And that's why they say forgiveness is for me. It's for myself. It's not for the other person. We think that we can bestow some forgiveness on somebody else, and that's not the case. Like, forgiveness is for us so that we can sleep at night, so that we can breathe in life, so that we don't hold, you know, like they say that a lot of our emotions sit right in our hips, especially for women. We hold it in our hips. So that's like one of the first things that you work through in yoga is your breathing, so that you can tell all of the muscles in your body to let go, to push out, to let go of the toxins. When I breathe in, I'm breathing in peace. Mm-hmm. When I breathe out, I am letting go of what no longer serves me. Mm-hmm. So like oftentimes too in those moments, if instead of just diving in and cutting somebody from the rooter to the tutor.
You just said something so heavy. Would our resistance be something that should be let go in terms of things that no longer serve us?
Absolutely. But that resistance comes from fear. Fear is the ego. Flow, freedom, love, that's the Holy Spirit. That's your higher self, your divine self. But we often, because the divine self is not intrusive, it's just peacefully there waiting for our yes. We often slap some duct tape on the divine self, turn it around backwards, and leave it in the corner. Because right now, what I want to do is act a fool. Let the clown shoe come out.
Right.
I want to make you feel my pain. Mm-hmm. I want you to experience what I experienced when I perceived what you said or what you gave out as something that was not constructive to my soul's evolution. Mm-hmm. So we got to learn we setting and shutting up the wrong self. Who we need to shut up and sit down is the ego.
Wow. Callie, soul. Callie, guess what you just did?
How about Denver in the house? Y'all have a good night.
Denver, Colorado is in the building. If you want to bring your city, y'all know what to do. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to talk to Jay. But she talked about resistance. Listen to Lao Tzu. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Right? That's heavy, right? Sometimes it's very difficult for us to do that. It's difficult for me to do that. It's difficult for me to embrace that. But what I do understand, as J.K. Rowling says, understanding is the first step to acceptance. And only with acceptance can there be recovery. That's recovery in your spirit. That's recovery in your relationships. That's recovery in your business. Understanding is the first step of acceptance. When I come forward, the voice of reason, phone callers, we're going to talk to all of y'all. Let's get it cracking. You are so deep in love. You made my life complete. You are so sweet. No one can be. Glad you came into my life.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City advocates and elected officials are calling on the Adams administration to allow migrant families to stay in shelters. Their demands come as 60-day notices come due for the first of thousands of migrant families in shelters. The initial deadline was supposed to fall right after Christmas, but the Black mayor's administration extended it by 2 weeks. That means migrant families have to pack up from the hotels they've been staying in and reapply for shelter. However, advocates are concerned families will be relocated and many migrant children will have to leave the schools. The Spokane, Washington City Council is making history by swearing in the city's first Black president. Betsy Wilkerson is taking the oath of office alongside new council members Michael Cathcart, Paul Dillon, and Kitty Klitsky. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal Endow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Are you a landlord in LA County with unpaid rent expenses? This is your last chance to apply for the Los Angeles County Rent Relief Program. This program is available to landlords with unpaid rent expenses in Los Angeles County, excluding the city of Los Angeles. If you are a landlord with unpaid rent, you could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. Tenants with unpaid rent are also welcome to refer their landlords to apply for this program. To learn more about the program or to apply, visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. The application deadline is January 12, 2024. Submit your application before it's too late. This program is administered by the Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, They host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice to breeze up.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, brothers and sisters, the VOR back in the building, live from Leimert Park, KBLA Talk 1580. The VOR. I think we have a caller from Laleese. J Speed from Laleese. J Speed, I need to know your thoughts, man, on tonight's topic. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was, thank you for answering my call and make me, I'm able to come on your platform. I've been listening to you about 3 weeks now, and tonight's topic, the young lady you had on just before me, she had some beautiful things to say. But my thoughts on this is, I'm thinking it's kind of hard. I've been working with this new push and this new reset of black men's, and when it comes down to deal with relationships. And I'm telling you, maybe a lot of that stuff they would try, but they only going to try that after they go through their reset. I don't know if you've been keeping your ears open into these YouTube streets, and just in the street itself, black men are taking a new approach on relationship. As you can see, marriage is down. You can see people getting together is down. I mean, it's fade out. It's kind of fade out there. And I'm not saying people ain't still not getting together, but this new generation of men, especially in our community, they are thinking a totally different thing.
Well, what are they thinking? What's the reset? Yeah, please hit me to it. You're talking about it. You've alluded to it, but what exactly is the reset, and what are they doing or not doing?
Well, the new generation of men feel like there's not equality when it comes to marriage. And that's why this new generation is not getting married, because they feel like if 80% of all the women are walking are the ones who are starting the divorces in court, then they lose half of their assets by the time they are into a relationship as a marriage. So they're saying to themselves is, what is the benefit of getting married if you can lose half of your assets just because she wants to walk away? And so that's one. They're really going hard on the child custody, the family court laws. They're really talking about that a lot. They have a whole agenda, and it has to do with relationship, women want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women. And so we don't live in that with women being over 65% of the workforce now. So it's a reset for them because they're looking at it like, hey, I can lose half of my wealth just by getting married, and only thing she has to do is be there and just leave. And so, believe it or not, this movement it started way back in 2015, and it's I'm telling you, my brother, it's picking up speed. I'm 65 years old. I'm in these chat rooms, I'm in these rooms, and I'm trying to govern some of this stuff. And when I first came in, they wasn't hearing nothing I would say. Now I have built a little respect with them so they can listen. But men are, this is what the young men are doing now. They're getting themselves together. They're not even thinking about marriage until they get something like 30 in their mid-30s. And that's when they don't build their wealth, got themselves together, and they are initiated into a relationship with women who understand what their new reset is.
So what would be the woman's new reset for these new men?
Well, they feel like black men in general has been put on a microscope by everybody, Japanese, Chinese, white, black, everybody. They believe the black woman has never been put on a microscope. There's a lot of things she has to change to get these, this is what they call themselves high-value men. And so they're going to have to change some things that they do. The things that they're seeking, like, they did a survey, I think it was about 5 years ago. 75% of all dating now is what they call dinner dates. Women will go out on dates with not even thinking about even starting a relationship with a guy. She just uses it as a dinner date. And so they are very heavy into the statistics and stuff. And you know how statistics are. They can swim one way or the other. But I'm telling you, the women will have to change a lot of things. The way they approach guys, you know what I mean? And especially in our community, we got specific things that we deal with in our community. And they are talking about things that you probably heard when you was younger. I probably heard when I was younger, black women are very aggressive in their attitudes and, all that stuff embargulated, and they're putting it under a microscope today, and they're trying to figure out how they will go forward. They're not going with the traditional way the men supposed to approach a woman. They're just not doing that anymore. They call that simping. Have you ever heard that word?
I have heard that word before. And I want to say this to you, brother. Man, you should call in more often. I appreciate your call, man. And guess what you just did?
I hope I just blowed up the radio station.
Yes, you brought Los Angeles in the building. Hey, man, you're welcome to call in anytime. Who's on the line? I want to talk to them. Who do we have? Juliet from Watts. Get in here. What's up?
Hey, and I want to give thanks and give the highest, utmost power, all the glory for all of that you do. You like the worm. You bring wisdom, opportunity. What that man say, he come on early in the morning on Saturdays. I just want to give honor to all my brothers, all my sisters that's doing what we need to do. You can't reach everybody. So we just going to teach those that we can reach. And the rest will follow.
Right.
I want to know, and I want to just put this out there. I need to start with my family, and that's why I have started first. Mm-hmm. And started passing on that good stuff that my mama and them did. Mm-hmm. You know how my mama and them did? The mama and them who was the police when we didn't need to call them.
What they do?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Juliet, tell us.
Them pearls of wisdom don't change. My mother used to tell us, look, sometimes you just got to listen. Words are powerful. They are powerful. That's just like the difference in saying the love of money is the root of all evil. She used to say, no. For the love of money. Put them words in there right.
Okay. All right.
And I got love for all of my, I don't like a lot of people though, but I got undying love for my black folks. I ain't putting nobody else down. I'm like Donnie Hathaway. I ain't putting nobody else down, but we all been young, gifted, and black. And with that, power to the people, I love y'all.
Yes. Juliet.
Can I say one more time?
Yes, you can.
Listen to it. Listen to me.
What?
Keep passing the information and extending the knowledge. We gonna come because I got some that's in college. I got some that's been from the streets to the seats that's in penitentiaries and stuff. We got. It's so many of us. They're all over. They're all over different time zones, and I love it. And so some of us need to reach back and find our own Dr. Henry Louis Gates, or whatever his name is. We need to find our roots out here first and start with that.
Righteous. Sister, I appreciate you.
Y'all doing the dang gum thing.
There we are. Yes, I appreciate you, sister. Yes, she brought What's Up in the building. When I come forward, Zoe's going to start wrapping this thing up for you.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance.
Plus personal equipment,
meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus
for all of us.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of This Light of Ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This Light of Ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This Light of Ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A son's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul.
Michael is too good for this topic. Turn him off. He too good for this topic. Ain't nobody looking in the mirror. Relationships are a journey for growth and self-discovery. Now, and it's inevitable that we will encounter aspects of our partner that we may dislike or find challenging. Hell, we find aspects of ourselves that we dislike and find challenging. We give ourselves a pass, but we hold our partners to task. I know you don't want to hear it that way, but that's usually what it is. We give ourselves and our family members who are probably guilty of the same things our partners do, we give them a pass, but we hold our significant others to task in general. However, it is important to recognize that no relationship is perfect and there will always be differences that need to be tolerated. The key is to identify which aspects are truly irreconcilable and the ones that can be worked on or accepted. And as my friend Jill Monroe just said, she highlighted some of the things that she would find to be, potentially irreconcilable. But then she hit me with the caveat as she was walking away, which was, it depends on what else they bring to the table. In other words, their value. Man, we live in a society, man, that devalues humans, right? And uplifts what humans have accumulated. Can you imagine? We will put on a pedestal what you do for a living, how much money you made, right? Where you live, what kind of car you drive, your home. But we will devalue your spirit. Can you imagine one person walking away from another work in progress only to go to another work in progress? Like, you're not valuable enough for me to stay with you. That's what I'm trying to show you here. I know this is heavy stuff. Guidance on reassessing tolerance and making changes in relationships. Somebody said, that's it right there. I know. It may be necessary to reassess your tolerance levels and make changes in the relationship when the challenging aspects consistently overshadow the positive aspects, causing significant distress or compromising well-being. Well, let me say this. That sounds straightforward and correct, but it's partly true. It's a half-truth. Let me read it again let's see if you hear it. It may be necessary to reassess your tolerance level and make changes in the relationship when the challenging aspects of your significant other consistently overshadows the positive aspects, causing significant distress or compromising well-being. What if you're ruminating on the negative, on something that happened in the past and you can't get past it? You'll say you're past it, but you're really not past it because every time you have an opportunity to bring it up and wash your person's face in it, you do it. Subtly, indirectly, and directly. Are you really over it? I'm tired of people saying, oh, I forgave you, when in fact, you didn't. To me, the best definition of forgiveness I've ever heard came from Iyanla Vanzant. What did she say? She says, forgiveness is when you can talk about a situation and there is no residue of resentment or the negative energy that used to be associated with that event. Like, people don't know how to stay together, but they know how to leave each other. People don't know how to work it out, but they know how to start something new. Right? No matter what relationship you're going to be in, you're going to be faced with challenges that comes from that person's internal curriculum. I know people don't want to hear it, but that's what it is. So you know what people are not good at anymore? Maintaining compassion and understanding towards each other. If somebody is still with you after hurting you, If somebody has put in the effort to make amends and deliver recompense for what they've done to you, is that not example enough that they love you, that they want you, that they care about you? For so many people, all you got to do is do it one time, hurt them one time, and that's the end of it. This goes back to that initial clip from Dr. Jordan Peterson when he talked about maturity or oppression. If you're truly being oppressed by your partner, get the hell out and get gone quick. If you're truly being oppressed, can I tell you something? Can I hip you to something? Being hurt by your partner is not the same as being oppressed by them. Oppression from a partner is something that is consistently being done over and over and over and over again. So many people are afraid of pain that if it happens one time, we gone. Here's oppression, constantly lying to you. Here's oppression, constantly cheating on you. Here's oppression, constantly demoralizing you. Here's oppression, constantly demeaning you. Here's oppression, constantly belittling you. Here's oppression, constantly disrespecting you. That's oppression. That's abuse in relationships. But we live in a society that says, my ego can't be cheated on. So if you cheat on me, you've cheated on my ego, and thus it's irreconcilable now. That's the culture we live in. Did I say something wrong, Andy? Did I say something wrong, Andy? When I see Andy reaching for the headphones or something, I know I may have said something. There is vast importance in accepting, right? Acceptance is a powerful tool in relationship. It involves acknowledging that you cannot change or control your partner's behavior, but you can control and change your own reaction and choices. Letting go of the need for control allows for greater peace and harmony in the relationship. Embrace the idea that differences can coexist and contribute to a meaningful and complex relationship. Listen, I started the conversation, and I don't profess to be correct, but I started it. It's up to you to finish it, and the fire shall continue to burn, because up next, none other than my friend, our sister, your sister, my sister, Jill Monroe, RSVP with Jill Monroe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces.
My way, what I say, girl, and I'm in control. Badass senoritas, two-seaters with kicks, new kicks, it's all in the mix. All turn, no tricks, they turn for me. Catching bricks don't concern me.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York